All right, welcome. We are live. I see that live button right there. I am so excited to be doing this because I really need some boost for my body, and I know that this is what we are all about, right? RT, welcome. RT, I'm so glad you're here to help bring in some more healing and soothing into our lives. So yes, today we are talking about our nervous system and how stimulating our meridian lines through tapping and thumping, and we're actually going to move into a full sequence. I'm not sure exactly how many minutes it will be, so just have an open mind. And RT actually wants to share a little bit of what we were discussing about how this modality came about. So go ahead, RT, and share some of your thoughts about this modality.
Yes, hi. So I'm RT Lane, and I'm having this conversation with Tah about boosting the systems and immune system especially. So I said, oh, I believe tapping is not a yoga thing. It's coming from the Chinese medicine, from China. You know how they call the channels of the body meridians, and then there is the school of acupuncture, acupressure, and then there is the maintenance or movement of Tai Chi. And so I knew this from Tai Chi teachers and from acupuncturists. So I learned that thinking that that's a pure Chinese angle. And then Ta also explained that that is also something she puts in her yoga class, and it's also coming from yoga. So I looked a little bit deeper, and I love when that happens, that of course at some point they were coming from the same stem, from the same tree of life, tree of thought, and tree of technique as well. So different names, different countries, but really like the Buddha is also India and China. It is really the same place. And yes, I'd love to do the next one. Is you can take your time, and it still would only be like 5-6 minutes. You can speed it up and make it happen in 2 minutes. It's a very quick tune-up. And I don't really call it tapping. I have two things to share. I do this one first, and then Ta goes again, and then I have something to add later, which I would call tapping. Because I'm using, or I want to show you something. We make a fist, and it's not a tight heart fist, but it's a fist. And we stand with the legs apart, and I call it more of a slapping. And what we're going to do is we gather momentum, and the motion comes from around the navel, the belly button. So it's not initiated from the head and the shoulders. So it's from here, and the legs, they don't move. And we're all proportionate, a little different, but with the back of your hand or the back of your arm, you're beginning to stimulate, or, not a good word, but beat up the kidneys, the liver, gallbladder. You can do this like so, slow. You can do this medium. And it really depends on the time of the day, your mood, and how much activity you have done already. And you can actually go all the way into pretty quick. So for me, I've already done yoga, and I watered my plants and ran back and forth. I feel fast is serving my mood right now. See, my head is not moving about a lot because that may get us dizzy. So it's a way to stimulate organs to do their job more efficient is the idea. That's how we start.
Feels good. Feels really good. So RT, I just have to let you know, we lost our first couple minutes, and so if you could, RT's here with us right now. I just wanted to make sure that we got that first part of the Facebook Live. So just go through what the modality is again, because I think we missed that part, and why we are doing this tapping. It has such value because it's all intertwined, these modalities. So just explain that one more time. I'm sorry, we missed that at the beginning.
No problem. And I know how that goes with the technology. We are all kind of, doing the in and out. So there is the thought of Chinese medicine, acupuncture, acupressure, and the movement for that, for, meridians. The thought of that is the Tai Chi. And then there's yoga. There is also pressure points. There is Akyu yoga. There is the asanas, the yoga movements, of course. And we call them nadis, so energy channels, like solar lunar channels. So it's the same. It's the same. You have the Eastern Chinese, North China thought, and you have the Indian thought, and they really come from the same tree of healing, and it's enmeshed. So I researched that because I knew it only from, more from the Chinese side, and of course, to no surprise, it is also used in yoga, and we already started. So I have that little immune boosting routine, and we started. You jumped right in with make fists, and it's up to you if you want to, hold your thumbs or not, but you want to use the back of the hand here to slap loosely into your kidney area, the waist, and then also liver, gallbladder. Yeah, from the back it looks like that. We all have different proportions, and when we came live, but I was talking about the speed, so you can go as slow as this.
Yeah.
If that's, we're all at different levels. Maybe you just got up, you're like, okay, that's good. I've been up and about and doing yoga, so this would be like a medium version. I actually feel like, I want to get some momentum.
You got some pent up little energy, anticipation.
Yeah. I like to move a little. And the movement is coming from around the navel area, so not the hips and not shoulders and the head. Of course, all of that is moving a little bit. For a minute, that's pretty good. Then the one arm is passive and just hangs here, and you go with your fist here with your knuckles. You go up the top arm, up and down. And it's like, I like that because I can hear Tah. So yes, you want to hear it. And if somebody was standing next to you in the safe distance of 2 meters, 6 feet, yes, they would hear it. And then you can do your inner arm up and down. Of course, no bruising. So if you are sensitive, then, take a little easier. And then the back of the arm, triceps, up and down, all the way to the shoulder. I've been just leaning, did you see me? But ideally, you want to not lean and stay rooted through the 2 legs on your 2 feet. I
just wanted to show you my feet. Yeah, so rooted down. Good boy. Such a good boy. Such a good boy.
Because the tendency is like we concentrate on one thing and we shift. And the shift is not what we're looking for. We're looking for groundedness. Go the inner arm up and down. And the arm is more or less passive here, so we don't hold it like so. And then you turn it a little, back of the arm, triceps, all the way to the shoulder. Very good. Shake it out. These here are really wonderful for the heart channels, so channels to the heart, so nadis or meridians, just different word. Nadis, we have like 72,000 nadis according to yoga, and there's all these, they call them meridian in Chinese. They are the same. So circulating the wrists a little bit. Then lift one arm along the ear, and your other arm goes across the body and just above the hip bone, slapping into the side, into the armpit. So getting the
same side.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
You want to start with one arm, doesn't matter, and then do the other, and then you continue with the other arm. So alternating. And no, don't worry about it. You can go.
Are we going to do the other arm?
Yes, we're going to do the other arm. So when you're ready, lift your other arm. And from above the hip, you want to slap the side as much as you can get around the corner here. So not the front, okay, the side where your t-shirt seam is. Under the arms, into the armpit, up and down. Very good. Especially healthy for women. And then shake it out.
Wow. I feel like I want to close my eyes and just get really into it, Really, it feels awesome. I noticed the difference between this arm and this arm. Like I want to pound this other arm. Can we?
Of course. See, and this is The intuitive part is I'm just giving you instructions, but how you do it is really, please personalize it. Take more time. I tend to rush because I get excited. I'm like, oh, what's next?
You're excited. That's good. We love that.
The next part.
I love it. It's great.
The next part is I'm on my knees just to be closer. That's all. You stay on your feet. You cross your forearms. It doesn't matter which one because we'll switch halfway through. And you want to find that dip between, you know, your chest muscles and your shoulder muscles. And those are lung points. Really, really important right now. And then you really, like, you hear my voice going, you know, you really want to beat it up right here where the dip is from the shoulder muscle. And then you have your, you know, your chest muscle. So this is for women and men, the same area.
So why the cross?
It's the angle for the fists, and it's also kind of stimulating the
okay.
blood here through the arm, and then you do the other crossing though.
Okay.
It's a good angle. You have more energy that way.
Okay.
Anything we do with cross is also really brain balancing.
Yeah, that's right. That kind of thing. I remember that exercise for the smarts to be more to have more intellect. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I use this stuff for like stroke clients, and you know they want to, or you know, Alzheimer. Very good. So, I feel that one really powerfully. Check it out. So step your legs a little wider, and what we did with the arms, we do with the legs. But you can slap a little harder. You know, it's the leg. They're strong, so go with the front leg up and down all the way to the ankle.
Can you also do this part seated? Probably, huh? If somebody.
If you can't stand, you can.
Yeah.
But it's to be standing. You know, if you can't stand, stand.
I'm gonna try it seated. I'm feeling like I don't want to bend over anymore. I've been bending over way too much. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean, huh? I'm gonna put this down.
I used to overwork my back. I stopped some years ago, and I healed my back from overwork because, you know, believe it or not, yoga teachers work very hard, and oftentimes they actually hurt because they work hard.
Yeah, and I actually, RT, I took a silly boxing punching class. So, that's mainly why I'm sore. I don't want to bend over. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this pounding seated. If that's all right. Okay. Life is like that, I tell you.
And then you can do your inner legs. Go up and down your inner legs.
Yeah, this is really simple. A very simple technique, but effective.
And then you do your outer legs, but up higher, including the hips. You know, you want to get into the hips, up and down. Yeah, you can make a little rhythm. You can, you know, it doesn't have to be both at once. You can also go back and forth. It's really just how you visualize it. And then the backs of the legs, and you want to include the buttocks.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing in my yoga classes, is this, when we're in a forward fold, doing a little pounding on the back and the legs. Excellent. All right.
Woo.
Woo.
Because I was talking about how the heart channel is affected, and it's opened and strengthened with the circulation of wrist, also with ankles. So just for now, rotate one ankle this way and then the other. Of course, you can do that seated or, you know, holding onto something.
Yeah, I'll stand now.
Okay.
Good.
And then go the other way around.
Yeah, really simple technique. Just to, and how many minutes do you recommend?
I think it's between 2 and 5 minutes, really.
All right. So it's not a lot. Yeah. So it's something that can be implemented throughout the, you know, once or twice in the day.
Yes. I do it every day right now. I have been doing it and I feel pretty good. And I have one other one, but, you know, I want to I have one more technique to share, but I want to pass it to you now because I've been talking the whole time.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoy this. It's like I'm getting a treat. Don't have to teach. I could take. I'm taking your class. I love
Oh,
it. So, but I can. I'll do what I've been really fascinated with neuroscience, and I've been watching a doctor, and I will put the link of this doctor who is doing some really gentle, kind of tactile stimulation of the parasympathetic nervous system by just tuning in to like our fear, our panic, our anxiety. So say we're in that, and we just do this, just a soft, like hands low, start with your hands low, tune into that sensation of like, that sort of lower frequency, and then raise your hands up and notice the shift. Notice the shift in your emotional body. So nice and soft. Good. And all of these sensations are creating different neural pathways and different wave patterns in the mind. So that's what this is doing. So again, it's these meridian lines, the energy frequency, soft, soothing. So it's a little different. It's a contrast to the hammering, the thumping or the pounding. It's just soft ease. And then the other move that was suggested, right from the shoulders. Again, it's that crisscross. Yeah, just that crisscross down and right to the elbows. And you feel that, this tingling, this sort of awesome sense of soothing,
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet.
I like that.
Yeah, very sweet. And think about it. This is what all animals do. So say there's a little cub, a little puppy, and he gets hurt. What's the first thing he does? He goes to his mom and he starts to cuddle and they lick and they just like they lick, So this is sort of like that licking, soothing, soft sweetness.
Yeah, shake it off.
Really good. Immediately just works the beyond the intellect and goes right into changing the wave patterns in the mind. Okay, slowing it down. So then you can also do your forehead. Again, make sure your hands are clean. and then just like that draping. And we've done this before. I thought of you, Arti, because I have a recording of us doing a nice little meditation that you started with your hands on the face. You remember that? Yeah. You can even go over your cheeks. So yeah, if you're a yoga teacher, these are great little 1 minute, 2 minute ways to start your class or even end your class, So that's it.
Great.
That's what I wanted to share. And then you could just go back and forth, through them.
It's really sweet.
Yeah,
and
very sweet.
It's like, in Ayurveda, we always talk about Abhyanga, the applying oil, self-massage. And I always talk about that direct self-love applied through the own hands,
Yeah, it's really powerful. Very, very powerful healing.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the other one? Then we'll end on that. That will be great.
Oh, because I have one more if you wanted to.
Yeah, I love it. Go for it. Do one more.
And it's what you talked about. It's the intellect is the one which is unsettled, afraid, experiencing anxiety and all that. So the simple thumping of the chest is very effective. The actually heart channels here. You can, it's not all the way up here. It's here, and it actually brings courage. So guess why Tarzan is doing this, right? He's in the jungle. There's wildlife. There's all these dangers. And we know Tarzan as a very courageous being. I mean, I do. I loved him when I was a kid. I adored Tarzan. And he does this, whoa. So he brings courage to himself, right? So, and it actually does work that way. Here's a more gentle way. So I come a little closer. So this is tapping, and that's the only tapping I suggest people with anxiety. And it's the fingertips. They go, and it's like you're wearing a necklace. So it's like this V shape, and you bringing the fingers together on the center of the chest, and then going over the collarbones. And here are next to the collarbones where I'm kind of lingering right now. This is where we can really let go of fears. So that's like a get out of fear area here. So you can think of a necklace. How hard you tap is really entire up to you. You will feel that. You will feel that. I feel a vibration in my whole body, actually. So that is something. 1-2 minutes is enough. It doesn't need to be done for a long time. And it's also something, trust yourself. You know how long you want to do this. And this is very nice. Wearing that, that necklace of, feeling good. And the next one is, it has 2 parts, and it's called wearing a crown. And you know how the crown goes around here, and it also goes around here. So you start going back and forth, just the center of the forehead, so your pinky fingers touch, and then you're going from that height above the ears to the side, back to the forehead, and that's the fingertips. That's real tapping. And make sure that the face is relaxing when we do that. And first, actually, it's kind of disturbing, like, ooh, it's right there. It's very close to our sense organs. And then, yeah, you want to close your eyes and all that. So wearing that crown, just bringing something around the mind, the head. So there's a feeling of protection also, what's coming from the outside, because sometimes we are bombarded from the outside. And then the vibration of it really stops us from, being involved with something what's on the inside, like thoughts, disturbing thoughts, distracting thoughts, etc. So that's that part. Same place. So it's third eye. It's the, right here, that gland right at the center of the forehead. That's when you're starting getting all these fingers together, and you're drawing a line straight up the, what are they called? The sutures. You're going down that center line where the skull is put together, that seam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very powerful, this is where all these meridians, or these, as we in yoga call them nadis, end up there. That's why headstand is such a powerful grounding pose, only if you know how to do it, unless, this is something you can do without.
And Thai massage, this is actual, I was trained to do the tapping on the head, on the head, and also just to share a little bit of like shampoo skull. Yeah, so. But now we're doing self-care, self-massage.
Yes.
Very, very soothing for the body. Nice.
And it's like, after you've done that, it's like you're you have protection, because you put on that necklace, you put on that crown. So whatever, you can go out there in the crazy world and not be affected by it, because the world is only the world, will always be just the world. We don't need to engage in that way.
Yeah, be okay with what is, be powerful in our own skin, be confident, brave, all of that. I like that.
Courageous and Tarzan we brought in.
Excellent. All right, so that was good. That was nice and quick for our Saturday morning pick me up, and it really helped my low back. Yep, from overworking.
Oh my God! I'm so glad you did that mini move. I forgot one. One of the standing sequence is actually 2 inches below the belly button. There's a little drum roll. It's also the bladder channel, so it may send you right to the bathroom, but that's the one.
Okay, good. We have one more. We should write this all down. Put our little secrets down.
Yeah.
That actually feels amazing.
That's immune system, and yes, it's a boost to feel good.
Good. And then, whoa, I just had the thought. So you do, if you want more time with yourself, nurturing and loving, you do your tapping, and you're thumping, and then you go ahead and you start your Reiki. You do your Reiki, just a couple minutes of Reiki, right? And like, up, let's seal it all in. Your hands over your face, or top of the head, right? Let's go over them. The top of the head, the face, back of the head, your neck, your heart, your power center, that root. And if I'm seated, I like to put my hands on my back. Right? So there we go. Wonderful. Take care of ourselves. We are responsible for our own health. And this is an incredible way to tune in and raise your frequency so that we can stay healthy and be,
Yes. And happy.
conscious that we are responsible for our own health, you know, and we are healing. We can heal. All right. Yay. Any last words? How would you like to close?
Yeah, I was talking about how our body is the temple. So temple is where you go inside the temple. That's where, you know, the self of self, the divine resides. But, you know, you do want to keep the temple in a good shape so that, you know, that higher self resides there in the best way it can.
Yes, absolutely. Great way to put that. I love that. That higher self resides here in our physical vehicle in the best way that it can. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. All right, and we'll plan something again for another couple weeks because I love having you on. So think about what you want to share, and then we'll make a post, or maybe even do a poll. Maybe there's like 4 topics, and then we'll do a little poll in our group and see what people resonate towards.
Sounds good.
That would be fun. Okay.
Have a cool idea.
So we'll see this live again in a couple weeks. You and I.
Bye.
We'll have to give it a name. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.